drama into peace, but keep a lookout at the cookout. Anybody got a problem? No, we quick to bring the book out. As efficient of men, I'm trained to always have my hook out. We them rebels you heard about. Same hands I have you took out 144,000 saints that Christ done took out. We wasn't straight, so we got the crooks out. It's going down. You ain't gotta be from a crowd, just a member of the family. Religianity, it's just a white man's fantasy to keep us on the land through the vanity of our eyes. You can't deny the devil being a lie and a terrorist. So UPK is real as it gets, the realest it's ever been. Every trooper is evidence, the officers, weapon specialists, the captains of chariots, the generals dropping jewels on you, Judas Iscariot.
What's up now?
You ever experienced where you plan out a whole lifetime with somebody and their life get taken too soon? So now that story you planned out in your head feel like now it's missing pages. Look, written lyrics that you never ever spoke. Never. Remember in the times we had the years before. Way back. It hurt me bad that you was 21 years old. You wasn't no savage, it still seemed like it's a joke. So I still talking about you as if you was never gone. The man in that box has got to be your clone. One shot to my niggas' dawns and now my niggas gone. 10 shots to help me cope inside, about to explode. Missing pages got me missing out on hope. Missing payments and young niggas steady broke. I'm missing my niggas turning to a ghost. Now they can't raise a toast, but for them we pour a dose. When you really close is when it really hurt the most. And when you really love someone, it's hard to let them go. You left in me with 2 seasons, now she gotta grow on both. And now she got some missing pages to your story, never wrote. Go out, cause your weed smoke won't do you no good. No matter how good, no. This a fairly odd flow. I just wish my God broke and show his face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing pages. How could your weed smoke won't do you no good. No matter how good. So this a fairly odd flow. I just wish all my focus show their face. This is a story y'all wrote. I'm just missing pages. In this day and age, man, it's missing pages. Nigga. Can't leave the house without just missing pages on your shoulder. Gotta stay on your P's and Q's. I said it's missing pages. 10 toes down. Always. But look, I wonder if it feel nice when you grip tight on a 40 cal Smith & Wesson at the midnight. Point it to a nigga head, any nigga on sight. Open one eye, put it on sights. It just pull the trigger, kill another nigga, another black statistic. Now he's another victim. Kids and his mother miss him. His story never finished. This is just another sentence. Judge off of life and now you missing. Missing pages got me missing out on hope. Missing payments and young niggas steady broke. I'm missing my niggas hunting to a ghost. Now they can't raise a toast, but for them we pour it more. When you really close is when it really hurt the most. And when you really love someone, it's hard to let them go. You took another person's life that you ain't even know, and now that person missing pages cause of hope. How could you? We smoke won't do you no good, no matter how good, no. This a fairly odd flow. I just wish my God broke and show his face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. How could you? We smoke won't do you no good, no matter how good. So this a fairly odd flow. I just wish all my focus show their face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. How could you? We smoke won't do you no good, no matter how good, no. This a fairly odd flow. I just wish my God broke and show his face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. How could you? We smoke won't do you no good, no matter how good. So this a fairly odd flow. I just wish all my focus show their face. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing page. You got cops killing niggas, and it's missing page. Real old white folk killing niggas. How could you? We smoke won't do you no good, and niggas killing niggas. You feel me? That don't make no sense. This is a story y'all wrote, and it's missing
Shalom, Israel. We're the ISUPK. Started out on 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, right? We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group on the planet. We're located here at 5261 Delmar Boulevard, Suite A, 63108. All right. We have classes every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday night from 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. and every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. All right. The call-in numbers for the classes are 712-832-8330 or 425-436-6260. The PIN for both is 825-1636. All right. This and every Sunday we'll be having Sharpen the Sword Radio from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And the call-in number for the radio show is 712-832-8330. The PIN number for that is 910-1409. All right, you can call in to the radio show or the classes, if you have any questions or if you, discovered something new in the Bible or, found a new hidden scroll or whatever, and you want to bring it on to the men of the Lord and see if, if your argument has any weight, right? If you have any footing in anything you're saying or if you're just talking out the side of your neck, right? All right, and coming up on the 11th of this month, we will be having a food drive right out here. Commander General Yohana is going to be doing it again, sending more food, 10 to 13,000 pounds of food to the city of St. Louis every 2 weeks, right? And it'll be right here, 5261 Delmar Boulevard, right outside the parking lot, right on the street, right? From 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., right? Pull up. We'll fill up the back seat, fill up the trunk, put something in the front seat. Look, if you got room and you gonna take the food, and most people who come here, they starting to catch on, they starting to get it, right? Our people are starting to try to take care of each other, right? So it's not just they coming up and pulling up and getting food for just their family, right? They pull up. I'm picking up for 5 families. I asked one sister, I said, well, how many families you picking up for? She said, well, it's 12 apartments on my floor. I said, look, you got enough room for it. We'll put enough in there for every apartment, right? We trying to get this food out to our people, you know what I mean? And if you know a couple other people who can't get here and need some food, come on down and you pick up the food and take it to them, right? That's perfectly fine. Somebody actually asked me one time if that was okay, if they could pick up for somebody. Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Right? And that's going to be on the 11th and the 25th of this month from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. right outside 5261 Delmar Boulevard in St. Louis, Missouri. All right. Any other announcements? New. All right, any questions online? All right. Let's hop right into the lesson, right? All right, I'm sure everybody can see the title of the lesson is Quality Over Quantity, right? Now, one of the arguments I've heard, about the ISUPK, right, is that, oh, y'all so small and it's all these other groups that are so much bigger, right? But we have to look at that as what it really is, right? We know that the Bible says that the path to truth, the path that the Most High wants us to take is straight and narrow. And the path, the destruction is wide. So it's going to be a lot more people on that road, right? But to be a brother and to be a sister in here, right, you have to meet requirements. There's a standard in here, right? In a Christian church, there is no standard. You can come in as you are, and you can just stay as you are. There's nothing you have to live up to. You don't have to change to be in the Christian church. In here, you have to change. Now don't get it twisted. You know, we understand people coming in here, you know, are going to have to take that time, going to have to work on themselves. Everybody that come in here isn't going to be quote unquote perfect on the first day, on the first month. I mean, and to be completely honest, you know, sometimes not even on the first year, right? But the requirements in here is that you must change, that you must shed yourself, right? You can in here, you know what I mean, you can't even talk to nobody else outside of the men above you for the first 6 months till, you know, for that very reason, right? Because this ain't you know, recruit a new sister in here and everybody go try to get at her, you know, off the bat. No, you are in here. You're leaving the world, coming in here, trying to clean yourself up, just like everybody else who walked through these doors, right? All right, we'll start in the book of Matthew and the 12th chapter, the 46th verse. All right.
Matthew, what was
12 and 46, starting at 46. Kind of the kind. Because again, like I said, there is a requirement in here, right? There's a standard that is not only laid out, but there's a standard that you have to live up to, right?
Ready? Matthew chapter 12, verse 46. While he yet talked to the people, behold, his mother and his brethren stood without, desiring to speak with him.
Now, we know how in the so-called Black and Hispanic and Native American community, how important the mothers are to us, right? So when somebody say, your mama want to talk to you, right, you expected to give a certain reaction in the so-called Black community. Like, it not your daddy, not your big brother, your mama is calling you. Like, you supposed to snap on that.
Supposed to run.
Kind of. Like, that is an order from the Most High. Flat out in the Black community is your mama called you, right? All right, keep reading.
God. Verse 47. Then one said unto him, wait a minute, Slocky. 47, that's right. Then one said unto him, behold, thy mother and thy brethren stand without, desiring to speak with thee.
See, he wasn't just told once. He was told twice. Look, your mama wants to speak to you outside right now. 'Cause she here. Your mama want to see you, right? But Christ understood, right, that wasn't the standard of what a quote unquote mother or brother is for him, right? He honored and respected his worldly mother and worldly father, because honestly, if they had been in the truth, they'd have been following him, and they wouldn't have had to been there late. They would have been there with him, walked in with him, right? But so they pop up late, and they want to speak to him, and Christ has an answer for that. Keep going.
God. And another thing is that you know that they are standing across the street.
God.
It says that they are without.
God.
You understand? Meaning that he's standing right here on the corner speaking to all the people, and then you got his mother and his brother standing across the street.
God.
Hey, your mama and your brother over there want to speak with you.
God.
You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Oh, and not just that, you know, not just they didn't come with him. They wasn't the first people there to see him. It was so many people there before they got there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they couldn't even get close enough to talk to him. Right. All right, keep going.
Yeah. Verse 48. But he answered and said unto him that told him, who is my mother, and who are my brethren?
See, just like every man in the UPK tries to do, and some do it way better than others, right? Use every single situation in life to teach the spiritual meaning behind something, right? Because because that was a simple thing. He wasn't going, like, they weren't trying to ask a deep question or pondering a great mystery when they said your mother and your brother is over here. Like, this is just a simple statement, right? But he took it and said, well, who is my mother and my brother, right? He, even in this, he wants to make sure that there is a lesson, and this lesson is what is required to be called his mother, what is required to be called his brother, right? Keep going.
Verse 49, and he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples and said, behold, my mother and my brethren.
See, he's pointed at his disciples and said, this is my mother and brethren. This is my family, right? Why is this his family, right? Why is that? Keep reading.
Verse 50, for whosoever shall do the will of my Father which is in heaven, the same is my brother and sister and mother.
So there is a standard that Christ set for being his brother and his sister and his mother, right? The Catholic Church loves Mary, right? The Islam has a whole book just for Mary.
Right.
When they brought her to Christ like, who is she? No, this is my mother and my brother.
Right.
The people who are up here doing the will of my Father, who are doing the desires of my Father, that's my mother and my brother and my sister, right? These are the people who are in this family that matters. And why does it matter? Because this is the family that's going to save this nation, right? Because everybody else outside of this family is going to destroy this nation. They're actively destroying this nation as we speak, right? By continuing in sin and keeping others believing that sin is a perfectly fine thing to do, right? So being a brother, being a sister, especially to Christ and in this school comes with a requirement, right? You can't just affiliate yourself with everybody, right? That's why we say we're not affiliated with any other organization. Right. Because when you start to affiliate yourself, you're co-signing for them, right? You putting your name on their work, right? Let's say we had affiliated ourselves with the Sakari, right? All right, just because we didn't go to their Passover, because we affiliate with them, we was cool with the strippers too.
Right.
Right. Now, it's like, well, okay, nobody, no, they got a whole group where it's a bunch of them different little Israelite organizations. Was it Masharah Yasharallah? I think they call it the Family of Israel. That's what they call it. That group that with the Sakari and HOI and
the House of Unity.
The Unity group with the purple and the blue and the red stripes. That's what it's
God.
called. Masharah Yasharallah. Right? Now here's the thing. You all affiliate with each other. You all have joint events, right? All of y'all are complicit with them strippers.
Yeah.
Every one of y'all affiliate with them, right? This is who you are with. And in them groups, it's so much confusion. It's so much confusion. Mm-hmm. Some say Yahweh, some say Yahuwah, some say Ahia. They all have different beliefs, and they are somehow supposed to be unified. That's because out there in Christianity, which is exactly what that is, there is no standard for what a brother is. There is no standard for what a sister is. So anybody can just be a brother or a sister, right?
Right.
Anybody. And a lot of them, I mean anybody, because they get down with GOCC, and we know they let Edomites in. They get down with IUIC, and we know they let Hamites in. They let anybody in, right? In here, there's a standard, not just ethnically, but by action, by work, right? Let's see, and in here, we understand that because we don't affiliate with everybody, because there is a standard, you know what I mean? You're not going to be the largest group, and Christ never said to go look for the largest group. Yahweh never said, you got to get, every single person, right? Actually, let's right to the next chapter. Can you give me Judges 7 and start at 2?
You said Judges 7?
Kind of the kind. Right? 2. Kind of the kind. Right? Like I said, you can't get caught up in numbers. The Most High has never been caught up in how big your congregation is, how many people follow you, and in fact, sometimes, it's an old saying, too many chefs in the kitchen. Sometimes it's too many of y'all. Sometimes some of y'all need to be pushed off and broken off to the side, right? You got it?
I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
Judges chapter 7, verse 2. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands.
See, the Most High said, you know what? Now, Gideon is preparing for a battle. He's about to go face another army in the war. And the Most High said, you know what? You got too many people out there. I can't give y'all this victory with all those people you got. Right? Some of them need to be cut. Some of them need to be pushed off. Some of them need to be left at home. Not all of these people need to go with you into this battle. Right? You don't need all these people. Leave some at home, right? Keep reading.
Lest Israel vaunt themselves against me.
See, because with us, right, with our people. Now, the Edomites, they can understand that. So they can understand you don't need everybody. That's why the Marine slogan is the few, the proud, the Marines. Right. It's only about 6 Navy SEALs in the world at any given moment. Like, they understand the benefit of being what is called elite, right? Yeah. See, we have an issue with that. We want to use everything to puff ourselves up. And the Most High said, no, I'm not going to give y'all that credit. I'm going to do it with 3 of y'all so that way y'all know it was me, right? We the ones that have a problem with having big groups. Other people, they understand that, no, it's efficient to have a smaller amount of people to do a task because you don't need everybody in there messing it up.
Yeah, right.
Especially when there's no standard to go by.
God, and like you were saying, that's us all day. Damn that's right. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians all day long. Let 1,000 of us go get it done. Oh, we did this. We're gonna boast and brag. That's what the word vaunt means. We're gonna boast excessively about what we did instead of giving the Most High the praise for what He did. Because we wouldn't be able to do anything had it not been for Him.
Right.
And black folks, when we so full of pride, we tend to forget that often. You understand? We tend to forget that often. Keep reading. Got a little more on it.
Oh yeah, hop down verse 4. So he did what the Most High said. Then he got rid of some of them. He got down to 22,000. Well, it was 22,000 at first, and he cut it down to 10. Right now, start at verse 4.
Verse 4. And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people are yet too many.
He said it's still too many. Now you done cut more than half of your military out. You done sent 12,000 home, kept 10,000. Most High was like, yeah, that's still too much. That's still too many of y'all. Right. Y'all still gonna have that same arrogance. You still gonna have that same pride. Let's make this to where you have no doubt that it is me who did this for you, right? Hop down to verse 6. So the Most High gave him a standard of what each man should do to let him know that the Most High qualified him, right? There was a requirement. Not every man did this, but the men that did, this is what he wanted, right? Go ahead.
Read verse 5 to
okay,
bring out what you're saying.
Verse 5.
Verse 5. So he brought down the people unto the water. And the Lord said unto Gideon, everyone that lappeth of the water with his tongue, as a dog lapping, him shalt thou set by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, everyone that boweth down upon his knees to drink. Verse 6.
Oh, Salaki, right there. The Most High. See, this standard, it just looks like, it looks like, this isn't really a standard. This looks like this isn't really anything to divide them. But this right here is the Most High giving a summary of what he's looking for and what man you should be looking for in one command, right? The men who got down and looked and lapped up the water like a dog, those men were not prideful. Because if you're prideful, you're not going to bend over and put your face in the water like an animal and drink. You're going to have some dignity about yourself. Right. These men were out here getting ready for war, and they did not care. They did not have any self-pride. They did not have any leaven, right? These men were there to do the job and do the will of the Most High, and that was it, right? But there were other men with them that did not bow down and lap up the water like a dog, right? Keep reading.
Verse 6. And the number of them that lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, were 300 men. But all the rest of the people bowed down upon their knees to drink.
So Gideon had his answer, right? You came out with 22,000 men. The Most High said, no, you only need them 300. Mm-hmm. That's all you need, this 300 men, right? If I'm not mistaken, this is the first account of a 300-man army going on to defeat another army. I'm not saying that they stole it from the Bible, but they steal everything else. Might as well.
Right. Verse 7.
Count the count.
Verse 7. And the Lord said unto Gideon, by the 300 men that lap will I save you, and deliver the Midianites into thine hand, and let all the other people go, every man unto his place.
So these other men, it was nothing wrong with them. They didn't necessarily do anything wrong. Just the Most High couldn't use them at this point. They weren't meant for this battle that the Most High has set up, right? They were not qualified to go through what these 300 men were qualified to go through, right? You have to have a certain quality about you to be in here, to be a brother in here, to be a sister in here. You have to have a certain quality about you, right? Actually, and one of the things that is said a lot by every man in the ISUPK, it comes directly from Christ, right? Could you give me Mark chapter 4 verse 40, right? Because here's the thing, in here, right, excuses are not accepted. Cowards need not apply. And it's not because we came up with this standard. It's not something that we just say in the ISUPK. There's a reason for everything said in this school, right? You got the that verse?
Mark chapter 4 verse 40. And he said unto them.
So this is Christ saying this. Go ahead.
Why are ye so fearful?
Uh-huh.
How is it that ye have no faith?
See, if you are a coward, that means you have no faith.
Right.
You cannot have faith and cowardice at the same time. Fear and faith cannot abide in the same being, right?
Right.
You and a fearful man, a faithless man is you can't predict what they're gonna do, because they'll do whatever it takes to make themselves feel more comfortable. In here, I mean, you just gonna have to come up out of that comfort zone. Like you gonna have to not be comfortable is what it is. You cannot have fear in here. You have to have that faith, and these are requirements from Christ.
Right.
Like this isn't something that Commander General Yohana made. This isn't something that the 7 heads made up, right? This isn't something that Abba Bivens made up. Christ himself flat out said, "What? Why are you so fearful? You have no faith?" Like this is what he required of his own disciples. So being Christ-like means you have to not only require that of people that you're with, but you have to require that of yourself. Right? That does, again, like I said before at the beginning, that does not mean that every person that walks in here is stone cold killer, unmovable, unshakable. But in here, that just like whoring around, just like smoking cigarettes, just like smoking weed, just like sleeping with every other nation. Your cowardice needs to be shedded when you walk in here. In here is where you learn your faith, where you grow, right? You cannot just think that being a coward is okay, because in here, it's not accepted because Christ doesn't accept it. It's against what he expects of each and every individual. Yeah, Proverbs 17 and 17. Right. And again, a lot of, we have a lot of, new people that do come into the school, and I want, especially you all, because everybody else who's been here for longer understands this. This ain't easy. Like this is why the scriptures say, a race is not given to the strong or the swift, but he who endured to the end. It takes endurance, right? You have to keep working on this. Paul himself said paraphrasing of course, but his flesh dies daily. He has to fight himself every single day, to be worthy of this calling, right? So just because you haven't shed everything, that's what this school is here for, to teach our people how to. Unlike the Christian church where we were taught nothing, right? But again, like I said, Christ has an expectation, right? You got the verse?
17 to what?
17 to 17.
God.
Go ahead.
Proverbs chapter 17, verse 17. A friend loveth at all times.
Right.
And a brother is born for adversity.
See, to have that faith, to not be a coward, is a requirement, because a brother is born for adversity. You can't stand with your brother. You can't stand with your sister being a coward.
Right.
You'll run too. You'll flee in that adversity, right? Especially when you know how our people get. That ain't my problem. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
God, as Salakia, that would be one of the worst things, man. To be in battle with somebody and think that they down, they got your back. You know what I mean? Think they ride or die and all that nonsense. And then to turn around and see them fleeing the scene.
Yeah, right.
While you throwing down. You know what I mean? That would be a terrible, terrible thing.
God.
You know what I mean? Like, boy, you ever make it out of this situation, good night. What's going to be in store for him?
It's a lot.
He ain't going to want to hear it.
It's a lot. If they don't get you, I'm going to get you when I get out of here.
Good night. You know what I mean?
God.
Man, that would be a horrible thing. And, I think about all of the yeshivas and the Yehudas, and you know what I'm saying, and the ones that put the baby fringes on their T-shirt, and they are all cowards. They do not serve the Most High. They do not, follow Christ. They don't follow anyone. They're by themselves. God. They're even in groups, and they're all individuals and by themselves.
God.
They do what they want to do within a group. Like, they don't even follow the people that's supposed to be leading that so-called group of theirs.
Damn right.
And I've seen it on so many different levels, man, where it's just, it's real disgusting. Like, because of all times, like now we got the truth. Now we got what we can pull this nation together. You know what I mean? And here we got all of these groups causing confusion as if it was the Christian church. Well, it is the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? Anything outside of the UPK is Christianity.
Right.
You know, it's just Israelite Christianity. And real quick, give me a scripture real quick. Give me 2 Timothy. 1:7.
Okay.
And when I had saw, take it back a little bit. Before I even came into the truth, when I had, first started seeing, I would say what they would say the Israelite community, right? Where I was seeing all of the different groups, all the different videos, all of that. And before I had made my decision, I had been to a group here, and it just they did not seem strong. You know what I'm saying? It was just nothing. I did not feel the spirit of Christ in there, even though I didn't totally know it at that time. Because like I said, I hadn't gotten into the truth yet. I was just watching videos. You know what I'm saying? And I believe I had. I think I just started my classes then. And I just was like, I was looking at all them other groups, man, hearing all the different things that they was doing, and it was terrible. And the decision was easy to make. You understand? It was real easy to make because I didn't want to go nowhere where no coward existed. Hell, you thinking you was real and gangster and true and down in the world, but wasn't none of that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Wasn't none of that to the to the streets. Yeah, to sin.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I gotta go somewhere where, first off, the reputation was impeccable. You understand? You could not. Nobody tops the ISUPK's reputation.
Right.
It's never changed. I've seen all of them other groups, and they switch their doctrine up. They switch it up. I seen them start off this way, and then end up this way, and then I've seen some that was in the UPK. Mm-hmm. But then turn around and switch it up and soften it up a little bit for, the listeners. You know what I mean? Like, that ain't what this is about. Christ didn't do that. You know what I mean? The Most High didn't do that. He didn't say. Now, I don't see nowhere where he said soften up, light, don't teach this, love everybody, except the Chinese. You got Israelite groups that got the Chinese people in their group. They got Moab in their group, man. You know what I mean? I just, like you said, the ones that got the devils in there, we know why they're in there.
Right.
You understand? They sleep with all of them. But then to see Moab and Ham, you know what I'm saying? Now you bring in everybody. And that's not biblical. That's not biblical. And I wanted to go where I saw some real niggas. You understand?
Yeah, right.
In the UPK, I saw some gangsters for real, for the Lord. I saw some killers for real for the Lord. There wasn't no cowards.
Right.
And I only heard that slogan in here, that we are no cowards, and I've never seen it and heard it anywhere else. If you're not in here serving Christ, you know what I'm saying, keeping the law, obeying the Most High, then you are a coward.
Right.
Simple as that. Simple as that. But read that scripture for me. I ain't going to get too much.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear.
God has not given us the spirit of fear. You scared to die? Then this definitely ain't the group for you. That come with the job description.
Yeah, right.
You understand? That come with the territory. You just might lose your life. And guess what? And you understand? That's an honor.
Yeah, right.
To lose my life for the truth. Not for no drug deal gone bad.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I was sleeping with another man's wife. Not because I'm like the Christian preacher molesting all the kids. They deserve to lose their lives. Every last one of their nasty asses. You understand? Not because, I'm gay and I got bashed. You know what I'm saying? Is there still gay bashing people? Or is everybody accepting the gays now? Joe Biden come in with the first law was to protect gays.
I think one died like a couple years ago.
One did a couple years. Yeah, they ain't bashing them too much no more. You know what I'm saying? They got all these laws to protect them now.
Okay.
They got all these other gays in the White House that love them now. They got what's his name? Magic Johnson's son, and them what's the new one now? Will Smith's son, and damn,
So like Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade's son. You see him dressed had a girl outfit on. You know what I'm saying? Braids in his hair like a girl. Oh my God, disgusting, man.
He said he a girl.
He say a girl. Yeah, he say a girl, man. That's disgusting. You know. So like I said, it's not that I would die for any of those reasons. You understand? Right. I'm dying because I'm keeping the laws. I'm in the truth because I serve Christ.
Damn right.
And the world hate Christ.
Right.
You understand? The world hate Christ. They make him seem so lovable and huggable on the Jesus Walk movies.
Oh,
you understand? Like he was just the sweetest little white thing in the world. But he was not. You understand? He was no joke and all smoke.
Damn
you
right.
understand? And I ain't talking about the kind that come out of blunt. You understand? You know what they say when you don't want no smoke, you don't want that smoke. Okay? That's what I'm talking about. And the Most High did not give us the spirit of fear at all. And I wanted to be with some brothers that I knew was not scared of a goddamn thing.
Right.
Commander General Yohana ain't scared of a goddamn thing. General Muhammad, you just keep going to General Haas, General Mayak, you understand, General Shawamar, General Q, General Katham. Ain't none of them scared, none of the captains, none of the officers, none of the troopers even, none of the sisters. The sisters is some gangsters in it.
Kind of a kind.
You understand? Straight up. And the Most High gave us the spirit of fear. Now,
damn right.
Everybody else, they like in the Maccabees, to where, we're not going to die on the Sabbath. You're not going to stand up for yourself so you can live? And so you can see another Sabbath? Yeah, you just rather die. Okay, I get it. But not in her. Damn okay, right. It's a more than.
But of power.
But of power, man. You understand? We the only somebody that's, what they say, in the Israelite community that wants to take over this place. You understand? That wants to have that power. That the Most High would give us if we would obey him. We the only ones that want it. Everybody else just want to get along. They just want to, what's that? They want to coexist. They actually, the bumper stickers, you seen them? They want to coexist. You understand? They want to all live together as one. They want to do that. Not us. Right. We want total power and control up under our King Christ and up under the Most High. Keep going. Is it?
Go
ahead. Give it to
them. And of love.
Mm-hmm. And of love. And they don't know what true love is.
Right.
You understand? They think love is all the R&B songs that they hear on the radio. Yeah, it's for your woman. It's for your man. You understand? But love is keeping them laws. You know? That's what love is in the scripture.
Okay.
You know? It's an action word that the majority of our people, there's no action when it comes to that word. You understand? They are sedentary. You know what I'm saying? Okay. When it comes to that word, for real, for real.
Damn right.
Keep going.
And of a sound mind.
And a sound mind. Man, knowing the truth, you ain't going from, what they say in the scripture, to and fro, and left and right, up and down. We ain't all over the place. We set. We solid. Right. Can't you tell? You understand? Right. Can't you tell? We straight in here. Damn we don't break no law. We ain't got to do like the other cats in other groups and in the Christian churches. So we got to one day come out and do like, who was that in the Christian church? Kurt Franklin. Got to come to molested his damn son, and now you got to come out with a video. I love my son. He's asking me for money, and you know what I'm saying? We ain't got to do that. I ain't got to come out with no video like that. I would never do such a thing. I'm not going to get caught up in no drama.
Yeah.
You understand? Because I'm not fit to do anything. I'm not going to sin against the Lord like Kurt Franklin did. So got to come on the news and make a sorry-ass video about my damn son. Go ahead.
You ain't gonna make an apology about strippers at the Passover?
Oh man, make an apology. I ain't see that one yet. I ain't see the apology.
No, not apology. He was explaining
the
strippers at the Passover.
Yeah, he did explanation. He called them bottle girls.
Right.
And then lied and said that the people that gave the venue had the bottle girls there. You already knew they was there before you turned around and set that date and signed that contract and reserve that damn venue for your event. You knew that way beforehand. You know what I'm saying? So, good night.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
No videos on why we let a sister marry a Hamite, then she come up dead.
Oh man, none of
None of that either.
None of those. None of those. We ain't doing that in here. Yeah, we actually love our sisters in here.
Damn right.
You understand? And we ain't gonna put you in no kind of goddamn danger. All you got to do is come in here and humble yourself and shut your mouth and listen, and everything will be all right. It will.
Damn right.
And you ain't got to worry about these men misguiding you. You understand? Misleading you, telling you to do something that you're not supposed to do. Doing something strange for some change or something like that. You ain't got to worry about that. You understand? You can keep the laws, and we can see this thing through.
Damn right.
You know, together in her, like what it's supposed to be. You know, like what brothers and sisters, like what family is supposed to be. But you don't get that in other groups because they don't know how to be family.
Right.
They're not family.
Damn right.
You know, man, if I turn around and started explaining, you know, I've been in just a short time though. And it don't even seem that 7 years don't even seem that long. It's really not for real. You know, but man, I heard so much about them other groups, man. Everybody get out the group and come straight here and tell us what they doing.
Right.
And I thought General Hyman was imagining things when I used to hear him say all the time, you know, because had nobody called me yet. You know what I'm saying? He said, look, I counsel fake Israelites all the time. They always call me with their questions, and they counsel their problems, their wives and their kids and their lives and all. And I was like, why are they calling her? Like, what they calling him for? Until my phone started ringing. Till my phone started blowing up, and then I started getting all the damn calls from the people that's not in the group, want to know breakdowns, want to know how to handle their ribs, want to know how to do. Like, why don't you just get in the truth? And you would know. But they know that this place is a place for no cowards.
Right. So like
go ahead.
On that point though, it's like that. It's like that saying, all roads lead to Rome, right? And what that meant was like, you know, of course, originally, literally, it meant that, you know, back there, all of the construction was done by Rome, so literally all roads led to Rome, right? Figuratively, it basically meant that like all of European culture comes from Rome. So when you trace everything back, they all go back to Rome for their inspiration and to figure out what they're going to do, right? Every black, Hispanic, and Native American that knows they're Israelite understands that knowledge came from the UPK. So when they have trouble, when they find themselves in trouble, they go back to the source of where they knew that the truth came from before it went off and broke off into their little groups.
Right.
Like that's what that is.
Yeah,
because they know where the truth is, and that's why they come as. But then they feel like, you know, one of those other part of the 22,000 who ended up going home because they just can't hang in here. And that actually made me think of what Captain Contazar said one time. You know, at the end of the day, you know how we've always found out who the Lord was with when it comes down to these different groups, right? I look around and I see Commander General Yohana. I see General Muhammad. I see all the generals on down. Captain Zaria, all the other captains, all the way on down, right? I see officers, troopers. I look around at these brothers. And I look around at these other groups. And when we have to go to war, because that's how this always ends, when we go to war, I'm happy with the side I'm on. Because the thing is, we have no cowards in here. You have cowards. They're going to run on you. They're not going to stand by you. They're going to find the first exit out, and you gonna be standing there by yourself. In here, for that day, there can be no cowards allowed, because the Most High is raising up an army under Yahushua to not only rule, but to take the kingdom by force. You think our enemies is gonna give us our kingdom back? You think they just go, Well, Christ is here. Might as well just go ahead, hand over the land. Here's all the gold. No. There's going to be bloodshed. There's going to be death on a scale that the earth has never seen before. If I'm not mistaken, the blood will be up to the horse's bridle. Like that was, of course, possibly metaphoric, but it was simply showing how much death there would be, how many people would be dead, right? And in that day, you cannot stand if you're a coward. How you gonna be a soldier for Christ and you afraid?
Right.
Like you're afraid because you have no faith. When he comes, you're not going to have faith. Then that's not going to give you faith. We see what our people did when Yahweh came down on the mountain, burned the top of the mountain. 20 days later, we was building calves. We were building idols. We have no faith as a people. We shake like a leaf as a people. So Christ coming down ain't gonna change none of that.
Right.
Like people honestly think when Christ comes back, that's when I'm gonna change. I'm gonna see the sky crack, and then I'm gonna be right. So then when he come up, I'm gonna be already right by then.
It's like if I could real quick, I done heard a lot of fake Israelites say that too. That's when we gonna know the truth. That's when we gonna know what tribe we actually from. That's when we gonna know this and know that. Why did he even say that ye shall know the truth and the truth shall make you free then? You understand?
Right.
It will be when I return you'll be free and you'll know the truth.
God.
You understand? That means we gonna know it right now. And Commander Junior Hunter has it, and he's giving it to our people. You understand? He has it. All you gotta do is just come in. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've heard a lot of that too. To where it's gonna be we ain't gotta worry about it now, like the Hebrew. I mean, I just heard so many damn excuses. You know, now I know why the ISQPK has that slogan.
God.
No cowards, no excuses, and defenders of the faith. We are the only ones that's defending this truth.
Damn
Anybody else outside of it is just wasting their time on corners. And hell, they don't even be on the corners very long either. You understand? They don't be on the corners very long. You know?
Damn right.
They don't teach their classes for very long. You know? They end up stopping eventually.
God.
Because they just don't have what it takes. This right here, this thing is going to take some damn, this is going to be a slow turn. You understand?
Right.
This ain't no quick, fast thing. You know?
God.
So you gotta come with some patience.
Damn
You know?
right.
And you gotta come with some zeal. Go ahead.
God. And Salaki, but you know, here in St. Louis, right? I've noticed the priests and the prophets here from the ISUPK can feel Ezekiel. When the Most High told him, prophesy to the wind. Because most of these fake groups, that's the only reason they're around, is because they're getting people. Let nobody walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Stand out there and teach and teach and teach and see nobody walk and see nobody come. Do you have faith to stay? Are you a coward? Can you stand when no one will listen to you? It's easy when you get a crowd around you and everybody wants to hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Can you stand in the day where people just don't want to hear it? Nobody want to listen. Not even that they scoffing or nothing. They just go walk by. Or you get them, oh yeah, I'm going to be at class on this day. Never see that man again. Oh yeah. Be outside having conversation. Real rap, spitting. Oh, they on every point. Not walking in the door. Right? If you are a coward, you leave. Because you have no faith, you're faithless, right? You don't have what it takes to stand. And like what you would say, I wanted to get on what you said about the fake Israelites, where they talk about, in that day, Christ is going to do it. Because you get Zephaniah 2 and 1. I want to start at 1. right? Because again, they say when Christ comes back, that's when it'll be decided. That's when we'll finally come together. We can have all these different groups, but when Christ comes back, that's when he's going to take us back to the kingdom. He's going to. All right. Let's see what the Bible says.
Zephaniah chapter 2 verse 1. Gather yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together, O nation not desired.
Now that is a command that went out to gather together, right? Now let's see if that's after Christ returns or if that is at some other time. Keep reading.
Before the decree bring forth.
Now see, this is talking about the judgment of the Most High. Before that decree is brought forth. So before Christ returns with the judgment of the Most High, that is when we're supposed to gather together. Keep reading.
Before the day pass as the chaff.
So before the day is over and the night is here, because no man can work at night. When is that? Death. When is that? When Christ returns and this kingdom and this society is over with and done with, right? Before Christ returns is when we're supposed to gather together. Keep reading.
Before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you. Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
So that is when Christ returns, right? That's when Christ comes back. We're supposed to gather together before Christ returns.
Right.
We're supposed to start following these laws, statutes, and commandments before Christ returns, right? And every other so-called Israelite group on the planet Earth knows who the one true Israelite group is. And that is where you're supposed to gather. You're not supposed to go and make up your own. You're not supposed to go and defect. But that could just be my words, right? Give me Titus 1:9.
You said Titus?
Kind of the kind. Titus 1:9. Right? Because again, every fake Israelite group started off at one point in the ISUPK, right? So when they run into troubles, they come back here for help, because what they've done is they learned here and then went and made up their own doctrine. They done went and made up their own spin on things, right? That's not the way it's supposed to be. That's not the way the Most High set this up. He set this up for us to have one direct, easy path. And again, at one point, they all knew it. They all learned it here. And then they wanted to change the doctrine because, one want to make money, like the Christian church. One want to say you can go ahead and get white concubines and sleep with children. Like, they have their own little things that they want to make up, but they originally had this doctrine, right? But Commander General Yohana did something that those men were too afraid and too much of cowards to be able to do, right? Go ahead.
Titus chapter 1 verse 9. Holding fast the faithful word as he has been taught.
See, Commander General Yohana doesn't teach his own doctrine. Commander General Yohana teaches the doctrine he was taught.
Right.
He teaches, that's why One West doctrine has not changed. That's why the ISUPK is the same as the ISUPK has always been. Because this doctrine comes from the Most High. This doctrine was pushed out by Yahushua. This doctrine was brought back into the earth by the ISUPK, and that is where this doctrine lives today. Outside of here are people who could not get with that doctrine, who could not hold fast to the faithful word, right? They let go. They dropped their sword at some point, and they had to, and they walked off on the faithful word that they were taught. Keep reading.
That he may be able by sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers.
See, that's why there is no change in other groups, because you don't really have to convince them of anything if you just say, come in here and just throw on this robe.
Right.
You didn't change anything. In here, Commander General Yohana has convinced the gainsayers, those who were against this truth. Because if you out there and you selling drugs, you out there and you in the Christian church, you're against this truth. You're a gainsayer until you walk in here and follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. right? And he's only able to do that because he stayed faithful, because he held fast to that faithful word he was given. So he's giving sound doctrine because he was given sound doctrine. He didn't create his own doctrine, so he didn't have to worry about filling in the little gaps of where your new doctrine. Because when you change one thing in the law, right, it's like 6, 7 other things you got to change too, just to make sure that one thing you change actually fits into your new doctrine, right? So even though you said, okay, well, they kind of like the same, but they do this different, but they do this one thing different. Now, when you look deeper, it's really 7, 8, 9, 10 things that they all have changed just to fit in that one thing, right? For example, biggest fake Israelite group, right? They changed the definition of a new moon, right? So it went from being the black moon to a fully bright moon, right? So now what does that mean? Now their entire year is different. Every feast, every festival is now different. You change one thing, you had to change everything else. You'd have moved every other feast and festival 15 days. Just because you wanted to say, oh, well, we see that it means this now, so now we're changing. Like, they just changed that, like, 5 years ago, maybe? Mm-hmm. They were established in 2003. So up until then, they were keeping it one way, and now they're keeping it another. Mm-hmm. Right? That's not sound doctrine. No. That you did not receive a faithful word if your word now has to be changed. Right. That's what happens.
Right.
Right? And just like the Christian church.
It's like that's what happens when you approach this truth as a damn DIY project. You understand? You think you're going to do it your damn self. And it ain't going to happen that way. That's why the scripture that you just pulled, Zephaniah 2:1, to where it says, gather yourselves together. What the hell is the point of us gathering together for if you could just do it by your damn self?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you could just do it yourself, then why in the hell do you have to gather together? You know? And that's the whole point, man. This thing ain't going to get done by no selfer. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take all of us. You know? Now, Christ, he went and died by himself, but he still didn't do it by himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He had the disciples. He taught the disciples, sent them out. You understand? And then guess what? It grew and grew and grew and grew. And we got more brothers, more sisters in the truth. You know, this thing ain't finna get done by itself.
Damn right.
You know, and just no one or no two, you know, or no, you know, Yeshiva and Yehuda group. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have to take for all of us to come in here and serve Christ. You know, that's the only way this is gonna get done. You want some more on it?
Was it more left on there?
I mean, you can go into what you're talking about.
Okay.
Titus chapter 1 verse 10. For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers.
See, this is why you have to abide that sound doctrine. Right. This is why you can't just be going on your own, because just like the Christian pastor, they sound real nice. Mm-hmm. They sound real slick, right? And every word that comes out of their mouth means nothing.
Right.
It's absolute garbage, right?
Right.
And right here it says deceivers. We understand that means devils, right? These are following the will of their father, the devil, right? These are devils for doing what they did, right? Making people believe that there is more than one Israelite group. That means you're a devil. There's only one. That's it. There's only ever been one. There's only ever been one prophet that the Most High talked to at a time. Mm-hmm. Like, so how is it different groups if the Most High is only talking to one person?
Right.
No, you follow that group because he's the one who the Most High speaks to.
And so, like, you know what they said about that?
What?
They said that each group, no group has all the truth. That's what they said. Each group has a little bit of the truth. So they're all. This was their excuse as to why they're just as necessary and needed as we are, as a UPK, because they said we got a little bit of the truth, they got a little bit of the truth, another group got a little bit of the truth, another group got a little bit of the truth. That's confusion. It's still confusion.
Okay.
You understand? This ain't like stores where you can go get one in South County, one over in the city, one over in North County. You understand? This ain't it. Okay? This is one place right here to where you get this truth at. Now, we got schools all over.
Damn right.
You understand? We do have schools everywhere. But you still got to come to this one school to get this one truth. You know, not go to her and, you know, we can only answer 20 questions and then the person got to get up and go to another group to get their other 20 questions answered. That's nonsense to even think that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's just an excuse that they use to say why they're in existence, when really they're non-existent. Really, they're irrelevant as hell. Because how you even? I don't even see how they sell people on that. How do you tell somebody I only got some of the truth and they stay? You understand? The thing is that they got some of the weed too. You understand? That's why they stay in groups like that. Oh, we got some of the truth, but we got the weed though. We got some of the truth, but we got white girls though. You understand? We got some of the truth. You can still celebrate your birthday. You just call it Earth Day. You know what I'm saying? That's what they got in them groups. You know, and that's why them people stay. Go ahead, man.
And Salakia, but you know, they don't use that one with their members. They only say that when you say, "No, y'all don't have the truth." Well, everybody got something. No, they only use that when they're challenged. They don't just talk to their members. Yeah, now we don't know everything. No, they don't say that, right? What they're doing is they're misunderstanding something. All of the truth is in the ISUPK.
Right.
Now, the talent of our nation, that's in all of those groups. Why? Because you've pulled the talent, you pulled the manpower, you've pulled some of the strength of Israel to other groups away from the truth. Right? That's what you've pulled. You haven't gotten any. That's why the scripture says that, you know, paraphrasing of course, but you know, even if you think you know something, that what you know, you'll take that too. Because as soon as they leave up out of here, they lose their mind.
Right.
They gonna start another group and be outside their mind.
Right.
Why? Because in here is where the truth is, and in here is where the Most High Spirit dwell. Right. And like I was saying before, you cannot show me any point in the Bible, in history, where the Most High spoke to more than one man at a time. The way he spoke to another man was the first man had to die. Right? That is how the Most High deals with his prophets. And then all prophets, all righteous prophets, are sent out from that man and from that man's instructions. Now, there's always been false prophets who started their own groups and did not receive instructions from that one source that came straight from the Most High to the Most High's representative on earth at the time, to the men of the nation, right? In here, what we're doing is we're rebuilding our nation. We're getting back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. And outside of here is still Christianity. And that's why in here will always be quality over quantity. We cannot lower our standards, lower what we accept, and lower the requirements in here, because that's not the will of the Most High, right? And
Finish it up.
it's like, was that?
Yeah, and hit 11.
Huh?
I said we'll finish 10 and then hit 11.
Okay, yeah, finish 10 and we'll be at.
Especially they of the circumcision. Verse 11. Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses.
See, that's what these fake Israelites groups did. They need to stop talking. They need to shut up and come in to the ISUPK, humble themselves, because what they're doing is they're subverting the house of the Most High. They're subverting whole houses, right? You taking whole houses down with you, right? Keep reading.
teaching things which they ought not.
Like you had Edomite concubines,
Right.
or Hamites are okay, or well, I mean, it's plenty of Israelite groups. I mean, anybody can do the will of the Most High. He don't really care if you an Israelite or not, just as long as you do His will. That's not what the scriptures say. That's
Right.
not what the Bible says.
Right.
You teaching things and bringing entire houses down because you're teaching things that ought not to be taught. What ought not be taught? A lie. That's, if the Bible is about teaching the truth, then what ought not be taught is a lie. That's it. That's all you're doing. You're a deceiver. You're a liar.
Yeah, right.
Right? Keep reading.
For filthy lucre's sake.
Because it's not just money that you gain. Right? Some people they are doing this for the money. Some people, they don't care about the money. It's their ego. But you're going to gain personally from the destruction of your own people, and you're fine with that. You fine with that as long as you can gain. Why? Because you're a coward. You're afraid of what would happen if you actually have to, one, not only instruct your people about the law, statutes, and commandments, but if you actually started trying to follow them yourself. Because I've noticed a lot of people's problems is, especially with people in the school, is that they hate us because we actually start changing in here. We actually do things differently in here. They remember that drug dealer that, would do whatever for an extra couple dollars. And they see he ain't selling drugs no more. And they see he following the law, statutes, and commandments. They see he actually treat his women right. They see that woman who used to, blow rod for blunts. Not she ain't touching nobody. Now she in this class all day and got her head wrapped and dressing modestly. She used to dress like a hoe all the time, but now she's dressing modestly. And then they have to look at their own lives and say, if they did it, then I can do it too. But they don't want to admit that. They want to keep saying that they just can't. They want to give every excuse. And what you do as a brother or a sister in here, by you living up to these requirements, by you changing your life and doing what is required of you to be the quality that is accepted in the ISUPK, it takes away every excuse from them.
Right.
And they have to look in the mirror and face the fact that either they're going to have to change or they can't use that excuse no more. That it can't be done. Because in here, in the ISUPK, under Commander General Yohana, every single day it's done. Every single day a drug addict gets off of drugs. Every single day a drug dealer puts down those rocks. He's not selling no more. A stripper gets off the pole, right? Was there any more?
No, I just sit on there.
Down okay. All right. And with that, I see we at the time. Shalom, Israel.